The People's Democratic Party, PDP, can finally put to rest the search for a befitting vice presidential candidate for its standard-bearer, Atiku Abubakar, as Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has been picked as his running mate. Addressing members of the Board of Trustees at the party headquarters on Thursday, Atiku said he consulted with all organs of the party and he decided to pick the Delta governor among those recommended because it personifies not only the seriousness the current moment represents for our country, but also the future that our young people yearn for and deserve. Joining us now on this show this morning as we discuss Okowas Emergence as Atiku's running mate is Alhaji Abubakar Baraje, former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party. Welcome to the morning show, Alhaji Baraje. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abati.
Well,
it's nice to see you there and your team.
Thank you, sir. Well, we've been discussing all morning the emergence of Delta State Governor Senator Ifeanyi Okowa as the running mate to the PDP standard-bearer Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. What's your take on this development, particularly against the background of reports in some of the papers today that loyalists of Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, who was also originally shortlisted, are angry, and they are saying that nobody can eat yam without drinking water?
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to all supporters of PDP, and particularly to Arise team, who has always having time to bring to limelight our political, developments in the country. It's a good job you are doing. With PDP, I've already said it earlier on with my interaction. If you look back at my interaction with you people some weeks back before immediately after the convention, I told you that the PDP is a party that has a very, very strong internal democracy. And I told you when you raised the issue of the number 2 man to Atiku, that is the vice presidential candidate, I told you that it will be resolved in a jiffy. And I also told you that without any rancor. Picking up Governor Okowa to be the running mate of our presidential candidate is one of the best things that's ever happened to our party. You all know the background of Governor Okowa. You all know where he's coming from before he got here. One of your analysts was running, the background of Governor Okowa yesterday, and I was able to listen to that. I couldn't have agreed less with that analyst, where it's coming from to be the bridge between the North and the South, between the Northeast and the South-South, and the remaining part of the country. His history politically has been very intimidating, and his personality, a very cool, calm, and very rational individual, actually fits into that hole. It's the right peg in the right hole. And then coming to consider the remaining people who contested with him, honestly, you agree with me, Dr. Abati, you are a very experienced man. All the 3 people that were mentioned, like Governor Wike and Governor Udom, they are all gentlemen in their rights, qualified, just like Okowa observed in his own address too, if not overqualified. And then talking of Wike, Governor Wike, another vibrant politician in that part of the country and in Nigeria as a whole. I mean, has a right to contest, which he contested, has a right, more right even when you look at the latest convention, his performance being number 2. So everybody will expect that, in accordance with chronological development, maybe UK will be picked. But in any contest, as many as people might be, only one person will emerge. And these are keen sportsmen politically. These have been brothers right before now. It is not just today that the issue of picking the number 2 man that would put them asunder. No. I trust the sense of judgment of Governor Wike. The only thing is, when issues like this come around, and an individual emerges at the beginning, people, particularly supporters, will react very hotly. So, but at the end of the day, and I know that's what will happen. Governor Wike will gather his supporters, speak with them, knowing the kind of deep love Governor Wike has for the PDP and for Nigeria as a whole. It is not the end of the road. There are many other areas where Governor Wike will serve the party. And I'm sure the party leadership and the elders and stakeholders of PDP will come together and ensure that the talent, the popularity, and the love Governor Wike has for PDP will be adequately utilized in the nearest future. So the choice of Okowa is appropriate, is apt, and it is the right peg in the right hole. And discussing, I heard you, some of your analysts, some of a member of your team, discussing about the local politics in Delta states vis-a-vis relationship of Governor Okowa and some members of the community there. Well, like I told you, I have known Governor Okowa and closely interacting with him as far back as 2010. And my interaction with him revealed that he's a cool-headed guy. Not only cool-headed, a very rational thinking guy. Not only that, he's somebody who, like every human being, who, whenever he makes any mistakes, he comes back, he quickly traces back and tries to correct himself. I know very well that Governor Okowa's relationship with the leadership of the party in Delta states, no matter how sour it must be, this is the right time. I know he will retrace his steps, and before you know it, that will have been over. And that will never constitute any problem into the development and our treks, our works, our effort to redeem the country, Nigeria.
Thank you, sir. While character is key, can you help us detail the electoral value that Governor Okowa adds to this ticket?
Well, I have said in a nutshell. You see, Governor Okowa, if you look at his antecedents and the assignments and contributions that Governor Okowa has made to the development of PDP, is almost unquantifiable. Right from the time he has been playing politics locally, as a member of the executive of the party, a member of the executive of Governor Ibori's team, a secretary to government of the state in Delta, and then eventually coming to the center, and then being a senator, a performing senator for that matter, a senator with the responsibility of chairmaning the Committee on Health in the Senate and throughout the nation. And not only that, he came back, he went back again and became the governor, two-time governor. And you could see the handiwork of Okowa in the state. Very glaring. You don't need to say it before you see. It is what you can feel. It is what you can touch. Like all of them, all the PDP governors in their various states, and particularly in the South. They are making us very, very proud. They are making the PDP to be a shining example of what a political party will be. In Delta State, the contribution of Governor Okowa has endeared him to the people of Delta State. Yes, in every state you can, or in every situation, let me say, that you can never do without having some little skirmishes here and there. But the percentage of performance, the percentage of acceptance is what matters. And like one of your contributors, one of your analysts was saying a few minutes ago, yeah, you might have one difference here or the other, but the ability to overcome such differences and make things work out at the end of the day to the delightment of the people that he serves is what matters. And I think if you want to score or rate Governor Okowa in that respect, I think he passed the landmarks. And his acceptability in the state, his acceptability at the national level will bring a lot of bread to the table positively in contributing to the salvation of the nation come to 2023 elections, general elections. I have no doubt that, like I said earlier, I have no doubt that the acceptance of Governor Okowa back home has a lot of impact. He's going to have a lot of impact in whatever he's bringing to the table. I don't have that doubt at all. So, to me, he's a man accepted at the local level, he's a man accepted at the national level. He has a lot of connections all around the nation. And nobody, except you, I want to say the least, we rate Governor Okowa low in his contribution and love and participation, active participation in the political processes of PDP in Nigeria.
Okay,
So
sir.
he is bringing a lot of positivity into the team.
Okay, sir. So 2 questions. Number 1, yes, his supporters are very happy in the state, but as we speak, there are reports coming out of the state that the state is split down the middle, is divided. A lot of people are upset. Those that don't support him are upset even about his emergence as vice president. And there's a story making the rounds, which I don't know if you can, throw more light on. A certain Delta Central for Integrity and Good Governance has called on EFCC to investigate an alleged payment of $3 million bribe for the emergence of Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa to lobby for vice presidential slots. What is this? A certain group wrote that out.
Politics.
Okay.
If I can answer you, Rufai, you say, what is this? I will tell you politics. So, why wasn't he coming before now? Right? Not only that, then coming to look at that allegation. Well, the group has a right. Every group, every individual has a right to say this is what he has. But what are the facts about it? It is not for me or you to say this is the fact. It is for the people they are calling upon to go and set it. But let them set the machinery in motion and let's see how far they can go. They have said worse things, even about Wike himself, even about Governor Udom, what they were trying to do to win this and win that. So to me, all those ones, I think all of us should do, particularly those of you who are our friends from the media, is to hide those things that will encourage unity, that will encourage development, and drop those things that definitely will cause some negativity. To me, those are kind of things that we begin to see now until the dust is settled. Dust is settled. What I mean by the dust settling is that until a particular level, a particular time when elections must have gone, and then you now see people apologizing that they were being misled. You and I, we are Nigerians. You know how these things happen. And then coming to the supporters of the people, talking about the so-called divisions in Delta State, people are eating out of it. People take advantage of this kind of situation and they eat out of it. And they will never want that kind of situation to stop. Such people are the people that are coming out with this kind of... I'm not outrightly waving it off. Anything can happen. But heavily, that kind of accusation is laden with a lot of politicking, negative politicking. I am very happy. Our leader in Delta State, Governor James Ibori, is an experienced individual. He has been in PDP inside out. And I know that with the emergence of Okowa, he is going to put heads together and put things on the table. And all these talks will die, the dust will die down in the GV. So everybody, I don't have any fear about that. So if you ask me, like I said, it's all about politics. Before afternoon today, other ones will come up.
Okay, Alhaji Abubakar Baraje, we'll just take a short break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back, and the conversation with you will continue. Please stay with us.
Thank
we'll
you
be right back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Our guest is still Alhaji Abubakar Baraje, former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, discussing the emergence of Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, incumbent governor of Delta State, as running mate to PDP standard bearer Atiku Abubakar. Alhaji Baraje, thank you very much for staying with us. Well, now we know the running mate. We know the running mate of the PDP. He's from the south. is from Delta. And then maybe by the end of today, we'll know where the running mate of the APC presidential candidate, now the two major political parties, will come from. Now, where do you think will be the major battleground states in the South, considering the fact that the Southeast, there is a prominent candidate from there, Mr. Peter Obi, on the platform of the Labour Party. And the South, you have the presidential standard bearer of the APC, who will need to do a lot of work in the South. The same with Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. So how do you think the battle will be fought in the southern part of the country going into the 2023 general elections? This is unlike 2015. This is unlike 2019. What are your observations or permutations?
Well, thank you so much. I personally, and maybe to those of us who belong to this, the belief that I want to narrate now. You see, the narrative is going on perfectly in PDP, and we are very conscious of political developments in the two spheres in the country, the North and the South. And we have ever remained conscious of that spheres, of those two spheres. Hence, I told you the last time, and I'm still repeating it, that we have a tradition. PDP is a party that has a culture, that has a tradition. And we go strictly by that tradition because it's working very well for us. Coming back to your question, it's becoming very interesting. The presidential candidate of the ruling party is coming from the South, and we all know him. And now the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, the main opposition party, is coming from the same South. And if you ask me, ask the voters in Nigeria today, in spite of the fact that the vice presidential candidate is the one coming from the PDP in the South, and the presidential candidate of the ruling party coming from the same South, the electorate will go for the PDP candidate. 1, because of reach. 2, because of age. 3, because of vibrancy. 4, because of political, dexterity. 5, because of the assurance tendency, the tendency that there's an assurance that in 2027, the presidency will shift to the South, and not only to the South, to the Southeast, where we know that there has been a lot of agitations. And all these are part of the criteria that the PDP put into permutation before coming up with Okowa. I know very well that Governor Okowa, given the background, which I referred to in my last discussion here, is a bridge. Governor Okowa is a bridge, not only between the Igbos and the Deltans and the South people, but Governor Okowa is a bridge between the North and the South. Governor Okowa is not in the realm of those people who feel that it is our turn. No, he doesn't belong into that. Governor Okowa believes in the metamorphosis, a peaceful metamorphosis of political development that will definitely bring the presidency to the South peacefully, in accordance with the peaceful, tendencies of the PDP. And the youth will buy into the candidacy of Governor Okowa as a first presidential candidate than any other political party, because this is a guy that has improved the lot of the youth in his own state. And don't forget, as a first presidential candidate, when PDP comes to power in 2023, Governor Okowa as the first president will be chairmaning a lot of government agencies, parastatals, and reach outs that will actually satisfy the yearnings of the people of the youth in the areas of employment. Don't forget that. So strategically, Governor Okowa is very well placed, well and above any candidate, be you a presidential candidate, be you a vice president, coming from the South. PDP has taken the lead. PDP has always been taking the lead. And don't be surprised, Dr. Abati and your team, that today, go and mark it down, Governor Okowa will definitely make a very serious mark over and above money politics in the South. People believe money can do everything. People believe that in Nigeria of today, the youth can be bought, the electorate can be bought. Well, PDP is saying that, yes, you can have your money, but the people, the electorate, will have their way. And that is where we are going. And that is why Governor Okowa is coming from where he's coming from. So to me, personally, I think Governor Okowa is going to be a very towering height over any candidate from the South. And if you ask me, like you did, and like you are doing now, where is the battle? The battle to me is not in the South. There are some states in the South that actually create some swings, and the Delta is one of them. Rivers is one of them. Definitely Lagos is one of them. But coming to look at where is the battle is in the central part of Nigeria. And I know definitely some of us coming from the central, we are loyalists to PDP. Yeah, we have our own, observations, and we are comfortable with the way the party has responded to our observations in the center, and we have given a promise that come to 2023, a lot of swings will take place in the center that will give PDP a positive development towards the election 2023. So as far as I'm concerned, the South belongs to the PDP this time around. We are working very majestically, steadily towards the presidency coming from the Southeast in 2027. And you are talking of 2027. Mark that. I'm not talking of 8 years later. And I think that will be the dream of the Southeast people. Thank you very much.
Right. Can you give us some insights into the relationship between Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Governor Okowa? Let's say, assuming a very big assumption here, that PDP ticket triumphs at the polls. What will that relationship look like in governance, seeing as we have experience in this country's history of both influential vice presidents and completely inconsequential vice presidents?
Well, I know you believe, and I know you agree with me, that Governor Okowa does not belong to an inconsequential, is not an inconsequential personality. You know it. Because if you don't know it, then maybe you have to go to a data set, like somebody, a member of your team said a while ago, that you have to go back to politics. I mean, go to Delta and see what Governor Okowa is doing, or what he has done, what he's intending to do towards the end of his term. So to me, it's going to be a performer. It's going to be somebody that is going to give a full support to the president. It's going to be a highly, highly complimentary vice president to Atiku Abubakar. He has been a two-time commissioner. He was very complimentary to his boss. He has been secretary to government in Delta State. He has been very, very highly complimentary. And that's why, even from the Senate, he was a serving senator. Before he was invited back, he was called back by his people to come and be the governor of the state. And we could see what his performances were. To me, it's going to be a relationship of two party men that are there, put there by their party, gotten those positions by their party to perform, to bring Nigeria out of the doldrum and to salvage the country from the economic, doldrums that we find ourselves, from the insecurity that is actually killing the nation, from lack of employment for our teeming youth. So he's going to be a vice president that is going to be highly, highly. Don't forget, that the relationship between Atiku and Okowa dates back to several years through our leader in that state, Governor James Ibori. And up to now, I know that the relationship between Atiku and James Ibori is very, very cordial. And that is why I'm very confident that the alleged, breach of relationship between Okowa and Ibori is going to cause any. No, we don't believe that it's going to cause any breach, because I believe that even with Atiku picking up Okowa will settle the dust. So to me, and to many of us in PDP, it's a very, very strong combination. It's a combination of people that is going to have a relation that is going to bring respite into the political, economic, and social, malaise that is troubling the country now. So we don't have any problem.
Okay. You said the fight will be in the North Central. But also,
Yeah.
have you ever looked at the historical data that shows from the last election that even the states in his region that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar did win, in the Northeast, he didn't win them convincingly? I'll give you an instance. Adamawa State, for instance, in the 2019 election, he had 410,000 votes. The APC had 378,000 votes in Adamawa. And when you see the total vote bulk that comes out of the Northeast, which is about 3.44 million votes, he didn't even get up to 3 million of those votes, possible votes that he could have got from his own region. So is there any way you guys are looking at rejigging it this time around, that at least he should do well, win convincingly his region, get those pockets of votes before you start thinking about the North Central?
As far as we are concerned, 2019 votes is going to be totally a departure from 2023 election. 2019 election is completely going to be, there's going to be a departure between the coming 2023 election and 2019 elections. There are so many factors that are going to be responsible for that. In the first instance, you'll agree with me that in 2019 elections, so many things take place behind the door. And INEC itself has learned a lot of lessons from those things. Secondly, INEC is promising us that they are going to run a very transparent, credible elections this time around by introducing a lot of changes in the processes of the elections. We have tried that. They have tried their hands in some states' elections, like in Anambra, for example. We saw the use of electronics, and we saw the use of transmission of results from the polling booths and the likes. So those factors will take away some of the discrepancies that occurred in 2019 elections, and we have a remedy in 2023. Secondly, don't forget that as time goes by between 2019 and now, a lot of eyes have opened up. Consciousness, awareness have increased tremendously on the side of the electorates. And between now and 2023 is a very long time, Rufai. And you will see the political drama that will begin to follow now. And I promise you that you will come back, God giving us life, to say that I made this, point. There's going to be a lot of political movement and dramas of our political leaders, which did not happen before 2019 because of lies, deceit, dishonesty that the ruling party, pump into people. And they have seen that the lies have come to roost. The lies are no longer working. And so the best for them is to come back to PDP and make the change that is necessary and drive away lies, drive away deceit, drive away dishonesty. That's another major difference that is going to occur in 2023. In 2023 election, you have already seen it, that even in Northwest, where the present president comes from, there's going to be a lot of changes. Changes in the pattern of voting, changes in the pattern of the leadership moving. It has started. You saw what happened in the Senate. The Senate leader moving back to his party in PDP. Not only that, you have seen a prominent, a former governor of a state moving from the ruling party into the PDP. And there are going to be a lot of movements for now and then, but I'm not backing on that. The voting pattern generally, because of the promise and the confidence that people are beginning to have in INEC, we hope they will live up to expectation. My appeal here will be to INEC. Otherwise, INEC to stick out their neck and soil their hands will be a very dangerous situation. So some of us looking holistically at the situation, we believe INEC is at the center, is at the signature of Nigerians now. And my appeal to them is to perform and live to optimal level. So, Rufai, if you ask me, there are expectations. There are going to be letdowns from people who believe that they can manipulate elections in 2023. And between now and 2023, the movement, the exodus of political leaders and followers, you will see what happened, particularly in Northeast. So we are not bothered about Northeast. We have a confidence that Northeast will belong to 2023.
Okay, thank you very much, Alhaji Abubakar Baraje, for joining us. Well, we'll keep a watching brief on developments in the political arena.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and your team. Thank you, Rufai.